How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Bitcoin's price is moving up today. We just hit 62,000 and some entities are not stopping right now. They're not stopping. They're buying. They're significantly ramping it up. And I want to cover some of the top news in the market here today. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you can see future videos just like this one. There's also going to be a link underneath the video to CoinW where you can trade cryptocurrencies using leverage. Okay, you can go from just a few X leverage all the way up to, I think it's 100X or something like that. There's no KYC, you don't need a VPN. And, when there are times like this, when there's a lot of fear in the market, if you place a long there, or even if you short on the way down, there's just a lot of ways to amplify your returns. If you're going to buy and you want to get riskier, you can always long. They also have a huge airdrop right now where you can get some free jungle tokens, 100 million jungle tokens. So, this is a small market cap meme coin. Maybe it's worth a few $1,000s now, but who knows? If the meme coin 10x's, if the whole crypto market does well, maybe you make 10 or 20 grand from that. So you can get part of that with the link underneath the video. Just make sure that you follow the terms and conditions and you can see how much you can actually get down there. So we have some liquidations coming in today, but as you can see, it's more evened out between longs and shorts. The price of Bitcoin has also moved up. We went all the way down to about 58,500 yesterday, and now we just hit 62,100. So big move up. There's a lot of fear yesterday for a couple different reasons. We've talked about that yesterday, but today it seems like a decent amount of good news. First piece of news, Morgan Stanley expected to approve Bitcoin ETFs on their platform for all clients by the end of August at the latest, according to a very senior source. So this is good news. Morgan Stanley obviously has access to a lot of capital, and they probably watched the Bitcoin ETFs go throughout through the beginning of the year, and the ETFs since they were opened are up significantly. Even with this recent dip, they're still up more than every indice, probably most ETFs. So I would not be surprised to see some inflows coming into Morgan Stanley or coming in from Morgan Stanley when these are approved. Now, I've been saying this whole time, it's going to take a while for all the different institutions to approve the Bitcoin ETFs, to allow clients to start trading. Even Vanguard, one of the largest institutions in the world, still has not laid out when they plan on allowing their clients to trade Bitcoin ETFs. So it's still going to take some time. There are pensions and countries and smaller firms too that are still just waiting. So a lot of people have access to Bitcoin now for the first time, but there's still a lot of people that don't have access to Bitcoin. So most likely this will help the price of Bitcoin. If nothing else, it's exciting. Some people that want to get into Bitcoin can now finally do it. Now, they're not the only ones that are getting into Bitcoin. There are some entities that are buying a lot of Bitcoin. For example, this guy bought 4,000 Bitcoin today for $235 million. Take a look at that, 4,000 Bitcoin. This is just the 24th, and they hadn't bought in about 10 days, but just swallowing up a ton of Bitcoin. They're almost at $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they were able to get it for 10% to 20% lower than they were stacking previously. So just keep in mind, the buying from these whales isn't always perfect. They were buying at 70,000, 69,000, 68,000, 70,000 again, 66,000. Then it fell down to 60. And what did they do? They just bought more. They almost doubled their position. They increased it by 40% within just a few days. Okay? So I think it is important to look at what the whales do. Of course, whales don't even time it perfectly, don't time the markets perfectly. But what do they do when there is a dip? They go out and buy some more. They're not the only ones buying more. As you can see here, Mr. 100, I covered this last night. They bought 114 Bitcoin. And then today they bought another 108 Bitcoin and then 106 Bitcoin again. So just swallowing up more Bitcoin. They are significantly in the profit, $1.5 billion. They're not having anchoring bias. If you don't know what anchoring bias is, it's basically, okay, I was buying let's scroll down to the bottom here. I was buying Bitcoin in the 40,000s and 50,000, so I can't possibly raised my cost basis. That's what some people say. They do that with stocks a lot too. But as you can see, they're still buying at 72. They're still buying at 73. They're still buying at 71. They're buying all the way down to 60 again, right? They bought at 59. This is back early May. And they bought all the way back up to 63, 64, and now 69. They sold at 69, and now they're buying again at 61. So the fact is, they are still swallowing up Bitcoin. It doesn't matter really the price. They just need to get their hands on some more. Now, sometimes they might be a little strategic. Maybe they'll wait a little bit or sell a little bit off and then come back in. But if you just look, they are just swallowing and swallowing up more and more Bitcoin over time. That's the key. Buy when there's fear. You can see these 3 or 4 wallet addresses all added 47,229 Bitcoin all within the last 30 days. So probably the same entity buying about $3 billion in each of these wallets. That is crazy. So again, just when there's fear, make sure that you have a level head. And there is fear. The fear and greed index is at 30, the lowest it has seen since September 2023. Okay, and that was like we just wicked down to 30, and then we wicked right back up. So if you go even further back, we haven't seen anything lower than this point since the beginning of 2023. Now let's look at Bitcoin's price at that time. Bitcoin at the beginning of 2023, we were talking about a $22,000, $21,000 Bitcoin. And that was after we went up from 16. Like we went from 17, and then a week later we were at 21. So I mean, that was a 20% move. Yeah, we have not seen anything like this since then, essentially. In September a little bit too. In September we fell. You can see we went from 31,000 back down to 25, 26,000. So yeah, people are fearful. But as I said, might not be the worst thing in the world to swallow up a little bit of Bitcoin if you need to add to your stack. Now everyone wants to add to their stack. Some people are happy with how much they've accumulated. They've made a plan. They said, okay, after the halving, I'm not going to buy any more. I get that. I'm not trying to push you to buy anything. And to be clear, we could always fall down further, right? We could see more fear. We could see more pain. In which case, then, yeah, it would probably be a very good time to be buying if we fell back down even further. I know there will be a lot of people that are longing the market at that point that are just waiting for the next bounce. If you want to do that, again, there are links to CoinW and to Blowfin underneath the video. Definitely check those out. Also, if you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, check out the link underneath the video. They'll give you an extra 10% off with my code. And then if you use Bitcoin on top of that, you get another 21% off. So would love to see you there. It is a fun conference, so definitely check that out. Really appreciate you all being here. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.